like outed by Zoom. Oh yeah, that's good too. The lawyer cat's a friend of mine, sort of. If anyone can be friends with him. If anyone can be friends with him, he's actually a challenge. I'm not a cat.
It's a filter. I remember that. Yeah, that was many years ago.
That's a friend of mine.
Oh my gosh.
But he's kind of hard to be friends with, but he was, good guy. Used to be a DA out there in West Texas, where I used to live. So like, we are live. Mr. Matson's in. I see you all. I'm just kind of, if people are watching online, they can know what's going on. I just like to get the order down before I pull everybody in, and then we're blocking and going. We got a Zoom user. And let's see. It's iPhone. Some people have very distinct names, so you find them. Some county. Probably that's with that attorney. And Mr. Miller's here. Yay. Always good to see our attorneys. All the attorneys are here. That's good news. Okay, let me let everybody in and we'll do the breakout rooms. Good morning, everyone. I'm Judge Person. I welcome everybody to Temple Municipal Court. And the delay was just me making sure that everybody was accounted for on my list. And I've got a basic idea of when folks logged in. I'm going to get started. I want to go ahead too and just introduce the city's prosecutor. The prosecutor is Ryan Matson. Mr. Matson, if you can unmute for just a quick moment and say a few words so that your screen gets highlighted and people see your face.
Morning, everyone. I'm Ryan Matson. I'm the prosecutor for Temple.
Thank you. So I'm really trying to move things along, but with due process for each person's case. I want to let you know that we can't have controverted hearings on this platform, but this is a good convenience still, and I'd like to keep it. I think it is helpful for folks that can't get away. So if anybody here feels like, I'd really rather just come into court to have this setting, let me know and we can reschedule that. It's not a problem at all. We have plenty of availability on the docket. Today, though, we're going to stick with Zoom for folks who are comfortable with that. More than likely, there'll be a next step. There's a handful of cases where there might not be, but otherwise we'll normally set the case for the next thing, but we want to move it forward today if possible. And so with that in mind, Mr. Matson, we're going to start with folks that I know have heard all this before. Attorney from Todd Tkach's office is here. If you could unmute Mr. Not Mr. Deutsch, let me find him. Miss Edwards.
Hi, good morning, Judge.
Morning. I'm going to move you and Mr. Matson over while I do announcements because I know that you've heard them. And I'm going to do that just with several folks. Just keep it moving.
Okay.
So let me make that movement. Afterwards, y'all will come back and we'll check in. So I want to just kind of give some real brief announcements. When you're given a ticket or issued a citation, those are all methods that we have under the law for accusing someone. And when you appear in a court like this one, and you're giving an answer to that accusation, and there are three options for pleading: guilty, not guilty, and no contest. If you plead guilty, you're saying, I did this. You're admitting that offense is charged. And we move into sentencing, which I will talk about shortly and let you know the options. I can talk about options. What I can't do is apply the law to your case, tell you what you should do, what you shouldn't do. I need to tell you also as we go along, I'll be putting that in this conversation, your rights and your duties. But really, if you need legal advice before you get started, before your plea is accepted by the court, if you want to invoke that right, in a Class C court, we don't court appoint counsel, but we do give you time, and you can have plenty of time to meet with an attorney of your choice, get that legal advice before you proceed. You may choose to hire a lawyer, and that is fine. You may choose not to. That is also fine. We just want to take that breather and get that legal advice before your plea is accepted by the court. The court can't give you advice. And Mr. Matson, if you're meeting with him today, he also cannot give legal advice to you. In fact, he is the person on the other side of the case. He's literally the prosecutor, and he answers to the city attorney just like a DA would answer to the district attorney. He's a city attorney, a deputy attorney prosecuting the cases. So just be aware of, that reality if you're meeting with him. He can't represent you. He can negotiate. He can tell you that he's ready for trial. He can look at his case carefully and decide that he wants to proceed or doesn't want to proceed. And I can't actually make him take a case forward that he doesn't want to take forward. I can't make him dismiss a case that I think should be dismissed. So I reserve judgment, and I don't make those thoughts or decisions. I wait to hear from the prosecution, and we move those cases in the direction that they are going, with input from yourself and input from the prosecution equally. And it looks like he's back for a minute. Let's keep that moving. Let's get the attorney from the Takac office over. She's here. Sorry, Miss Edwards, it's a full room today.
No problem.
There you are, yes. On the Asia, I'm probably saying that wrong. Asia or Asia?
I say Asia, so I hope
You-
that's right.
Well, you probably know this person better than I do. So let's go ahead and check in. This is an allegation of speeding 82 and a 65 from June 10th. And if we could, where are we with this matter?
Your Honor, we did reach a deferral agreement.
Okay,
Terms of that are going to be 120 days. Submission of a type 3A certified driving record by day 60, and payment of the fine by day 30.
okay, let me wrap this up with a check-in. 120-day deferral that will run from today, till November 27th. A 3A record due by September 26th, and payment in full by August 29th. And I would put that in writing and email that to both parties if that is your agreement.
Yes, Judge, that's our agreement.
Okay,
It is, Your Honor.
I'll probably just pre-sign it so that you'll have my signature on it. I'll just void that if I don't get back signatures. But if I email that over to you today, Ms. Edwards, Mr. Matson, are y'all able to sign today and get that back to us?
Yes,
Yes,
Judge.
Judge.
Great. Then are there any questions from either party before I let the attorney from the Takac office, Ms. Edwards, go?
No,
None from the
ma'am.
state, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Edwards, you're good to withdraw at your convenience. And thank you for your time.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. I'm going to move things forward on that docket as I continue to make announcements. But Attorney Wolf is here. Mr. Wolf, I saw you on screen a second ago. There you are. And is your audio working okay today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Perfect. Let me move you over. Y'all are talking about the Jonathan Berry case, and I'll move you over to that meeting now.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Matson, I think you're good to go. And so I just want to continue through the list of things that I let everybody know every day. And I had mentioned that if you plead guilty, we move into sentencing. And I also mentioned that I'll talk about sentencing shortly. I also want to just take a pause real quickly on the Anderson case. Was that the one with the dismissal? No, the Huber case. Okay, sorry, I misread that. Okay, so I just want to go ahead and continue. So if you plead no contest, it's not contesting it, not admitting it, and moving forward with sentencing without agreeing or disagreeing. And really, it means not contesting, no contest. There's some other fancy words for it, but that's essentially what it comes down to. You can move into sentencing without admitting or denying the offense. And the way that you do that is if you enter a plea of no contest. We move then into sentencing, and I again will give you brief information about that shortly, the dismissal options that are available in Class C courts. The final plea, the third plea, and it's really the first one, but I put it at the end for a reason, is to plead not guilty. Now, I just want to highlight that we are presumed to be not guilty at all times unless we change that ourselves in a proceeding like this one, or if we go to trial. If a jury finds us guilty, that's the answer. If they find us not guilty, the case is essentially acquitted and dismissed. So if you are looking to go to trial, that's not a problem at all. And we will move that case in that direction shortly. And folks who are contesting, that's what not guilty means. What you're doing is the burden shifts from, not ever shifts, but you're just alerting the state that, you are contesting the charge, and they are going to be required to prove that case. And they have to go first, they have to make a showing, and they have to take their case seriously and make sure that they have at least evidence of some sort that they think they can prove up at trial. And then once they do that, that hopefully happens in the courtroom. If that doesn't happen, then, it's a problem. They didn't meet their burden. If they're able to do that basic step, just during trial, it shifts over to you. And that's when the burden shifts back and forth of just making showings. And then a jury would decide if the state meets that burden of proof. And if they don't, then the person is found not guilty. So you also have the opportunity to have a bench trial if both the state and yourself agree to waive the right to trial and proceed, the right to a jury and proceed to a bench trial. We'll get more into that where that's needed, probably here in the courtroom. We'll have more conversation about that. But the reason I'm highlighting this part is, one, that we're presumed to be not guilty, but the other part is, the direction that you plead, the plea that you enter gives the direction that the case goes. But I do have a required meeting prior to setting the case for trial. I like the parties on a scheduling order to just check in, make sure that if there are motions that need to be filed, we get them and we get them ruled on. The things that can be anticipated. Sometimes folks request what is called discovery, which is looking at certain aspects of the prosecutor's file so that they show you what they've got. Basically, that's called discovery. And also, that we sort of get a schedule going and figure out if there's going to be required to be any paperwork that needs to be filled out, and also motions that need to be ruled upon. So if we're doing all of that, we do that at the pretrial. A lot of that we can do today. Some of it we need to do in the courtroom, and we'll just go in the direction that each case merits. Okay, so those are the pleas that could be entered. If we're in sentencing, I have a couple of folks here today that we need to talk about things that may not be going right with sentencing, or they're here to be sentenced for the first time. When we're moving into sentencing, Class C courts have 4 options for dismissal that are available. There are compliance dismissals, driver safety course options, deferred dispositions, and teen court. We have a teen court at this court. So compliance dismissals are things that can be brought up to date and dismissed. And that's going to be things like a broken tail light, a tire that is bald, something that you're cited for that's a defective piece of equipment. If you get to court on time and you have it fixed, and we have proof of that, the court can do a dismissal of the charge and keep it off your record. Sometimes there's a $0 fee, sometimes there's a $10 fee, sometimes there's a $20 fee. those laws, the enabling laws, say the judge shall do so. So the judge, since the judge shall do so, the judge should look. So I'll be looking for those. Ask questions if you have them, and we're just going to take those things as they come. Mr. Wolf, Mr. Mattson, I know y'all met on the Berry case, and I want to go ahead and get y'all's input, a check-in on that matter at this time.
Judge, if we could reset the case for 30 days at least, Mr. Wolf's going to take an offer back to his client.
Okay, are we going to reset to this platform or come on in the courtroom?
I think this platform is appropriate.
This
Okay.
would be great, Judge. That'll give me time to review discovery and go over the offer, and I don't see any issues with resolution before then.
Well, you never know, and it won't
Right.
be bound to that statement, but we'll set it on Zoom if it seems like it's going to work out. And if that shifts at any point, y'all can let the court know. I am looking at the calendar. Sorry, I forgot to pull it up. I have Zoom available. Let's see, August 27th. That's a Tuesday, of course. Is that too early? Is that enough time?
That sounds good, Judge.
Okay, we'll just send that to your email if that works for you. Mr. Mattson, is that going to work for you as well?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, we'll email that to both parties. And with the thanks of the court, unless there are additional questions, Mr. Wolf, you'll be free to hang up and move forward.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. And I would then turn to Mr. Deutsch. Hi there, how's your audio doing today? You're still muted, but we'll get you there. There we go.
There we go.
Perfect. Let me move you over to that meeting, and you're talking about the Zacharias, I'm going to say this, Weiner.
That works.
Okay, case. And so I will move y'all over to that meeting, and we'll hear from y'all shortly.
Thank you.
Thank you both. So again, I'm just looking for those possibilities of dismissal, and we're just going to move in the direction that the plea takes us. But I automatically look for compliance dismissals because the law lets me do that. So, but definitely ask questions if you have them. Okay. If you think something might qualify like that, talk to me about it, or talk to the prosecutor about it. We can discuss whether it is or isn't eligible. And even maybe why. Okay, so that's the first one. The second one is moving violations can be dismissed through a driver safety course option if you are qualified for that program. You got to qualify, then you've got to meet the requirements, and then you get the thing dismissed. Part of the requirements include that you are, excuse me, on time for court, and that you pay the court cost. So let me talk a little bit about that. Every ticket that gets filed with a court like this one, well, with any court, there's a court cost, there's a fine. If you called and said, how much is this ticket? And the clerk said, $264, there's a portion of that is a court cost, which is set by the legislature. And there's a portion of that is set, that's a fine that's set by the judge of the court. That would be me. And in the driving safety course option, you pay the court cost and the fine goes on hold. And if you get your course and your record turned in, the right course, the right record on time, you get your case dismissed, and that fine over here gets waived at the same time. And it's always going to be cheaper to pay the court costs and pay for the course and pay for the record than to pay the whole ticket, because we want folks who have had an offense allegation to get that course back under their belt and sort of pull up the level up. Basically, it's a leveling up moment. And the reason that we have that leveling up moment is really to do with the fact that statistically, when we get citations, we move into a higher group of risk. And so it's just a way that the law reflects that reality. And Texas is unfortunately the #1 state for death and dismemberment on our roadways. So we like to go ahead and address that. And that's just a way that we do that. I'm going to pause there and go ahead and ask Mr. Mattson and Mr. Deutsch Let me get Mr. Deutsch moved back over. Sometimes that's not as simple as it might seem. But luckily I get to help with that. So let's get him back in the room and we'll check in. There we go. He moved over. All right. And let's go ahead and get a check-in from you both on the speeding allegation regarding Mr. Weiner.
Your Honor, we have reached an agreement on the deferral.
Okay,
The terms of that deferral are going to be a 120-day period with
Okay.
a 6-hour course due by the 60th day and payment of the fine of $264 by the 30th day.
We are in agreement with that, Your Honor.
thank you. Thanks for that check-in. So that will run from today till November 27th with a course due, a 6-hour course. Is that what we're saying?
Yes,
We both agree?
Yes,
Yeah.
Judge.
And so that due date is September 26th, and then payment no later than August 29th. Will that work for both sides?
yes.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, we'll email that over, Mr. Deutsch, to the email that we sent the hearing from. I know
works.
you have a big law firm. Is that gonna work out well, that email?
Yes, that's fine.
Perfect. Okay, we'll send that to you. And if we can get it back today, that would be great. We should have it here shortly. I'm about to sign it.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. You're good to withdraw unless you have further questions at any point that you want to withdraw.
No, I'm gonna have to go have more coffee. Thank you, Judge.
Sounds like a good plan. All right. Take
Take
care,
care.
sir.
Right, bye-bye.
Thank you. I see Chris King. Let me just, I don't think I had noticed you. Let me go ahead and add you to that discussion. There, I see where you were in the scheme of things. I got it. I'm gonna go ahead and move Mr. Mattson forward with Mr. Miller on the Viviana Hale case. Mr. Miller, I think you're already unmuted, so we're good to go. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine. How are you, Judge?
I'm doing fine. Let me move you over to that meeting with Mr. Mattson.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we're moving along. Things are moving nice and quickly. I know folks didn't wake up thinking, yay, I hope court lasts extra long. Just the last couple of things here on these dismissal options. So one dismissal option, sorry, I've talked about the first two. The last thing I'll say about the moving violation with the driving safety course option is, again, the law there says the judge shall, do so. If you want to do the driving safety course option, and I have not started talking to you about it automatically, if you're on my docket, I just go there right away. If you're qualified to be in that program, that does mean staying on time for court, certain licenses. Speak up and let's make sure that you're not qualified to be in it if you already haven't been offered to do it. I normally just start talking about it. And I think that was a check-in, so I think we're moving. All right, Mr. Mattson, are we moving y'all back over quickly?
Yes, Judge. We only need a minute.
Okay, yeah, I kind of recall that's a reset. Maybe, I'm not sure. Where are we with regard to Viviana Hale's case?
We have reached an agreement, Your Honor.
Okay, and we're final with that offer?
Yes, we are.
Great, let's hear it.
The terms are going to be a 90-day deferral
Okay,
and payment of. So the fine had been increased due to a summons being sent to the wrong address.
okay, yeah, that
I
would
would like
be,
to-
let me take a quick look. Would that be a warrant fee?
I believe so. I know the fine was maxed out to 500, and I was just going to ask that it be reduced back to the original amount of 296.
Okay, yeah, this is an older case then, because, no, it's not. Okay. I'll check in on that. But yeah, let me, that might be something that just, it might have a little bit to do with the offense and so forth. Let me look real quickly at it. I'm sure we can get there. I just have to figure out the best route is really what we're saying. Right. The address is always what's on the complaint unless we get something else. Let's see what we had. I never know where they get those from. Those are usually at the police department. Some decision there. Yeah, it wasn't a warrant. It was an increase. So I think that normally, yes, we can do that reduction. Do you have a number in mind?
The original amount was 296.
Right, great. 296. So for the fine itself,
The fine would have been 215 and the court costs are 81. That totals up to the 296.
got it. I now I'm with you. So a reduction. Sorry, I'm just writing this out so the clerk will have it and she can get it going for us. Got it. Reduction of the fine to 215, a 90-day deferral from today until October 28th. And is there anything else?
No, Judge, that'll be it.
No, Your Honor.
When is that getting paid?
Within 30
Showing
days.
30 days, Your Honor.
Sorry,
My client will need 30 days. for
30
that.
days. So that's from, that's going to be August 29th.
Thank you.
Is that going to work for your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Great. Okay. I will get that over to you here shortly. It's going to take a couple minutes to get the reduction done. We have a lot of controls on that. So we'll get that over to you soon. And you are good to withdraw unless you have anything further with the court, Mr. Miller.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Mr. Matson, moving you forward with Chris King. Mr. King, is your microphone working? Great.
It should be, Judge.
It certainly is. Let me move you over. And then I'm just going to finish this chat that we've been having. The last two dismissal options that I think it's really helpful to know about are deferred dispositions and teen court. Deferred dispositions, a deferral, it means to delay. Disposition means to make final. So that's a legal phrase that we use. Delaying making the case final and putting a court order in place. And that court order lists the things that are going to be required to gain a dismissal. You've heard me discussing these with several lawyers this morning. That's not unusual that lawyers seek to do that deferral option. In a Class C court, you can ask the judge directly on a plea of guilty or no contest. Guilty or no contest, I would like a deferred, is how you ask. And most of us just didn't wake up thinking about that today. So I just tell everybody the same thing so that you know how to invoke that request, because I'm not offering that directly to you. You make the request of the judge. If I explained the reason for that, we would be here all day, but that's how that works. So just speak up, or I have to assume that you don't want to do a deferred. Yes, there's a period of, usually it can be up to 6 months. We have to sort out payment. Sometimes there's a class or a record due like that. So if you're looking for a deferred, ask for the deferred. Okay. If you're in a pretrial with the prosecutor, you can have a discussion about a deferred and see if y'all can come to an agreement with a deferred. If you want to make that request, you start with the prosecutor on that not guilty docket. Okay. At some point, we've got to have a plea, but we presume some things there, but we still have to know that that the person isn't asking for trial at that point. They want that deferred. But other than that, it's the same. You just start on that line with the prosecutor. You're not required to do that. It's just that's how you do that if you want to do that. And then finally, teen court, which is for middle school, high school, homeschool, GED students. If you're a student and I don't know about it, speak up, because teen court looks a little like a deferred and that there are things to do, but you're in school, so there are accommodations that we make to that kind of schedule. Okay. So those are the 4 dismissal options. I remember I said there were 4. I know I've been talking, probably seems like a lot because we've had to go back and forth with folks moving into that meeting. Normally I do all this before we start any meetings, but the fact is you'd be on here longer, and I know nobody wants to be on here longer. So I'm just gonna I'm moving things forward as rapidly as we can make them go without skipping things that we need to cover. I'm going to start by talking to Mary Young. And Ms. Young, can you unmute and just tell me how you're doing first?
Hi, good morning, Judge. I'm doing well at work right now.
Yeah, that's fine. That's one reason why we have this platform running is because folks are busy and I understand it. There are two things that we have. One is a failing to apply for a Texas license within 90 days. The other is an allegation of speeding 27 and a 20. On the failing to apply charge, let me take a quick look at where we are because I don't think a plea, let's see. Have you been able to get the Texas license? Let's start that.
Yeah, so the Texas license, I went to the DMV. It's all set. They have my photo, but I wasn't able to obtain it because New York had a hold on my account, which I queried with them and figured out why. They couldn't really tell me, but it sounds like my plates, I still had my plates, which have since been returned through certified mail. So I have that confirmed. So I just have to go back to the DMV here and pay for my license and pick it up.
Okay. Have you been able to check with the state of New York to see if they still have that hold?
So I called them and the representative said they couldn't really give me a straight answer, but they said basically you have to pay $50 because it was late, which I already did that as well. So I'm hoping to go back to the DMV here and then they can find out, okay, your hold is unheld. But it was kind of a back and forth. No one can actually say what the reason was. So I had to keep calling and one guy was like, this is probably what it is. You have to go through online and click on this and pay this fine, which I'm like, okay, I didn't know I had one, but I think that's the last thing probably that I had to
Yeah.
unravel to get that straightened out.
What a shame that it's so difficult. I'm sorry to hear that. If you come back with the Texas license, I don't think that we've entered pleas yet, correct?
Sorry.
I'm just checking with
Oh, okay.
It doesn't look like we have a plea on her case yet. I mean, she has them. They had her fill out a post plea because she missed the court date, but I don't think we've executed her plea. I just want to make sure we haven't done that. Ms. Young, I'm just confirming what I think is true. Okay.
Okay.
When you come back, I know we had a missed court date. We've had a little bit of trouble with some of the login processes that I think we have figured out. And so I'm not going to count that miss against you. I'll still count you on time. So you would be eligible upon return to do the driver's safety course. If you want to do that, we can delay both cases, give you time to get the Texas license, which qualifies you for the program to do just the court costs, license insurance, court costs, and then, to do the course. You can do the course online, so you can log in and out, do an hour here and there until you get it done. And your driving record, which would be a Texas driving record, it's not going to have anything in it, but we get one from you. It's a 3A record. And we'll give you all that information when you come back for how to do that, because you wouldn't get started on that until you have the license. But I would probably delay both cases if you want to try to hold out to be qualified for what would ultimately wind up being a dismissal of both charges, saving you probably a couple $100. Do you want to do that?
So go with the course you're saying would be the best option.
I mean, you pleaded, I think, no contest. And so if you come back with a Texas driver's license, you'd be eligible for that program.
Okay.
At that point, you would pay the court costs, which they're not cheap, but the court costs on that one are $144. And I believe I've got to double check, but I think so. It's not a school zone. It should be 144. On the day that you come back, you'd have the 144, the Texas license, and your insurance. Then you sign some forms that show you what you need to do your driving course option. It's all in writing, everything you need, all in one packet. And you have up to 90 days from that date to get your course and your record turned in. You can do it in a week or you can do it within 90 days, but you have up to 90 days. And then if you get your course and your record turned in on time in that window, you get a dismissal of that one and you don't pay that fine. The license charge, if you bring back a valid license within that, on your next due date, then what we can do at that point is do a dismissal with $20. So instead of $440, if you did everything correctly, you would pay, $166. So most of us would probably do that, but not everybody has the time and not everybody's willing to do that. So I don't know until you tell me.
So I just want to make sure I get it clarified. So if I do the course and all that, the two charges are basically dropped after I complete the course. Is that what it's a conclusion is kind of?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the course and the record, which will show you all how to do that when you come on the next due date.
Okay.
The first step is you've got to get a Texas license to be qualified to be in that program. That's also going to qualify you for the failure to obtain the Texas license to be dismissed.
Okay. And then what about the speeding? Because there's a speeding.
So the speeding would be covered when you come back with the driving safety course enrollment.
Okay.
So then, that's where
Okay.
you pay the court costs at that point.
So if I plead the not guilty part for the speeding, then that would take me to a different.
I'm sorry. Let me look and see. I thought we already had a plea for you.
Oh,
Oh, man. Okay. We don't have a plea for you on that. So,
okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The wrong form was given to you. We had an leave. So I'm just cleaning some of that up, but, which I don't like, but there it is. So yeah, I'm sorry. You still have that option to contest the charge. We would schedule that for a pretrial with the prosecutor and y'all can discuss it, whether y'all are going to go to trial or not is fine.
Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to for that. It was right outside my house and there was no, I don't know if I'm supposed
You know what? I can't go into the facts.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I have to stay neutral.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it for just a moment. Let me check in with the attorneys about the Fufuda case and we'll see where we are when we come back to you. We'll come right back to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Just think it over for a few minutes. Okay, gentlemen, I say that. Let me hear from you folks on the Fufuda case. Do I have the right case?
You do, Judge. There's an offer on the table.
Great.
If we could reset 30 days out to give that firm a chance to talk to their client, that'd be great.
Certainly, no problem. Are we setting for Zoom?
Yes, that's fine.
August 27th?
That works for me.
Okay, and Mr. King, does that work for you as well?
That's great.
Great. We'll send that to the email that we use to set things up for today. Will that work for you?
That's perfect.
Okay, great. Then you're good to withdraw with the thanks of the court at your convenience.
Thank you. I'll take care.
Thank you. I figured out what happened. I had you as Robert, Chris, and Cody at first. So yeah, I wasn't sure. I thought maybe it was you. So I did. Yeah, I did.
We're all fungible.
Yes, I mean you weren't a cat, so we're good. Yeah. Okay, but I mean, everybody uses. Sometimes my household's that way. We one computer to rule them all.
Right.
Yeah, got it. Okay, you're good to go.
Take care.
Thank you. And Mr. Matson, you're moving forward. Your next person is David Nichols. Mr. Nichols, can you unmute? There we go. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Good. I'm going to move you over to that meeting with Mr. Matson. And so y'all are going to have that discussion at this time. I'll move you over to that meeting now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Young, I'm sorry if I've created confusion. I had the wrong impression from the information that I had in my file, but nothing's changed. Nothing's altered. What I want to let you know is I don't have a plea from you yet on either case, actually. So I've kind of told you what I would do with a plea of guilty or no contest. There would be two options available for dismissal. I would not count the missed court date against you, and I would keep you eligible for those options because I think that there was confusion there. And I understand how that could have happened. On a plea of guilty or no contest, I would be willing to give you time to do the dismissal for the driver's license and the speeding to be put through the driver safety course option once you have a Texas license. If you're contesting it, that's fine. We just need to move that to the pretrial docket.
Okay.
What do you say?
So if I contest, I can't contest one or the other, has to be like combined.
No, you can. It's just we
Oh, okay.
simply put them together in case
Okay.
that
I
works.
wanted
But
to
it kind of
contest
gives you a little more time, frankly, too,
Okay.
which you
I
need.
wanted to consent the speeding, but I'm like guilty for that license thing. But I
Okay.
don't.
Okay.
That makes
I'm just gonna,
complicated.
since I can't dismiss the license thing today,
Okay.
to set you on two different dockets. I am
Okay.
going to just move them both to the pretrial docket.
Okay.
And I can do that here in the court on August 15th. That's not enough time, I think, maybe for the license, though. Have you looked into getting another appointment?
The license thing should be fairly quickly because I've gone there a few times and I get to cut in line because the lady knows me by now, and she knows everything's all set. I just have to like pay and get my license. But it was the last thing where they like had to run something and they said, oh well, there's a hold, I can't give you the license. So then I had to go figure out why, because they couldn't tell me what the reason was. They just said you have to figure it out with New York. So
yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, so it should be fairly quick. I just have to be able to get out of work before they close or just escape work to go get it, which I haven't done yet.
Okay, so I can give you till the 15th or the
Okay.
22nd or the 29th, which will work best for you.
The 15th is fine.
Okay, that's here in the courtroom, okay?
Oh wait, that's August 15th?
Yes.
Let me look, sorry.
We start at 9.
Okay, the earliest date was, I'm sorry, it was the 15th, correct?
The 15th is an option. The
Uh-huh.
22nd is an option.
Okay,
And the 29th is an option.
I think the 15th is perfect.
Okay. If I email that reset to you, you'll need to sign it and email it back. If I email that to the email that we have on file that we set this meeting on for today, will that work?
Yes.
Okay, well, you should have that soon, this morning.
Okay.
And we'll look to get it back sometime today.
Okay, sounds great.
Okay, Ms. Young, thank you.
Thank you.
And Shakayla Anderson. Oh, Miss Young, you're good to hang up and get back to work.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to be right with you. I just need to check in with the prosecutor on the David Nichols case. Let me get Mr. Nichols moved over.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you're able to get on video, that's helpful. Thank you. I'm going to be right with you. Mr. Matson, I'm just trying to get the system to move Mr. Nichols back over. Okay, let's check in on David Nichols' case. Where are we, Mr. Matson, with the single charge?
Your Honor, we're going to be moving forward towards a trial setting. So I think we need to have Mr. Nichols come in for a in-person pretrial conference.
Okay, we're going to do that on August 15th here in the courtroom. Okay, Mr. Nichols? Mr. Nichols, can you hear me? Let me have you unmute so that I can hear you.
Okay, there it is.
Yes, there it is. So we will schedule that now for August 15th here in the courtroom, okay?
Okay. Is that
Okay,
the courtroom at 401 North Third?
yes, and I actually need your signature today. Are you gonna come by the courtroom to sign, or can I email it to you to have you sign it? What will work better?
I can come by there this afternoon when I get back to Waco and back to the Temple area.
Okay, once you get back to Temple, come to the front desk. And any of the clerks can help you here at the court at that 401 North Third Street address that you talked about.
Okay.
Okay, we'll look for you this afternoon, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll have everything there. And again, just any of the clerks can help you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. You're good to hang up, okay?
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye. Mr. Matson, I'm moving you forward with Wereth Pugh. Wereth Pugh, can you unmute?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning. I'm going to move you over to that meeting with Mr. Matson at this time.
Oh.
And Ms. Anderson, I'm working with you myself. Let me just get your file pulled up. Hold on 1 minute. Did we do a dismissal on this one yet? We can still do it, whether they're here or not. We qualified. Okay. Hi, Ms. Anderson. How are you today?
Good morning, I'm good.
Good. So I think that what we should probably do, and you've checked a bunch of things off, they're all different and they do different things. Let me just cut to the chase. I can move you over. I'm going to see if the prosecutor, if you don't mind waiting today, he's
Yes, ma'am.
moving pretty quickly. I'm going to see if he would be willing to look at this and talk to you about it briefly rather than reschedule you, because I have a sense of what he could do, but I can't promise that he would dismiss. You've asked for some relief, and I want to give you an opportunity to have him look at that with you and see if he's willing to do that. I can't do that on the facts that are right now. So we need to stop. Your next stop is to talk to him about it, and I'll see if he can do that today, if you don't mind.
That's fine. Yes, ma'am.
He's moving along, but we'll just let you hang out. You don't have to be on screen until we talk to you. And we'll just let you hang out until he's ready to get to it, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay. I will talk with him about that. And so now let me check in. I've got someone called Zoom user, and I'm sending that person an unmute request and a request to start video. I just don't know who that is. So I'm looking. Hi, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
Well, thank you for asking. Can I get your name, please?
It's Rebecca Huber.
Thank you. I was hoping that was you. So I actually have a dismissal for you. You qualified for some internal, we have some internal dismissals that the prosecutor always dismisses. And so I had him put in writing that so that folks who pleaded guilty or no contest could still have the benefit of the same possibility, and you qualify. And I've just signed it. I'm going to scan it, and then I'm going to email a copy to you. So your case is being dismissed, and we'll send it to the email that we have on file. Will that work for you?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes. Is that still a good email for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Huber, with the thanks of the court, you can hang up and wait for that dismissal to come to your box. But I will tell you that it's been entered into our system. It's effective immediately.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. You're good to go.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Let's see. So we're just waiting on Mr. Matson for the remaining cases. And that means you're just going to see me work, which is boring. But so I understand if you're not on screen, you can be on screen or not be on screen. But once we have your turn, I'll ask you to be on screen at that point if you're able. And we're just going to wait in line, basically. Okay. All right. Let's see. on Ramos Montanos. So I had already decided to convict and give him 30 days, and then I think he wrote in and said he wanted a new date. Is that right? Let me look, because I don't know why we didn't just do it, but I think that would be the reason probably. And then what unfortunately happens is that then the person blows it off again, and we've just been spinning wheels trying to get them to deal with their case, which isn't an appropriate response to law enforcement or the court. So yeah, and I put on here 30 days to pay, accept his plea, and that was July 25th. So I think maybe he wrote in and said, give me another chance, and we did, and now I'm not here again. Oh. I remember this.
With the Zoom call. That was July 20th.
Okay, and then this phone number I have is 802.
417-735-87.
Okay. I'm gonna call just because of the tornado situation. Okay, let's see, Mr. Matson. Let me get Mr. Pugh back over. Mr. Matson, while we're doing that, I wanted to ask you, Shakayla Anderson is gonna wait till you have time today, if you don't mind. It meets some of the requirements for the prosecutorial dismissal, but not all of them. And I can schedule her, but I thought it might be a quick look, but she knows she'll be at the end of the line. Is that okay with you today? So sorry, for some reason you're muted, which is unusual, but go ahead.
Whoops. Can I get a cause number for that?
Oh, of course. Cause number is 2420-794-3049.
Perfect. Yeah,
The
I'll take a look at that.
The element missing is that there was a previous within 2 years.
I see.
Okay, I'll let you go ahead and think about that one, but let's hear back on the Pew case.
We did reach an agreement on terms of deferral, Your Honor.
Okay, let's go.
It's going to be 120 days with an alcohol course by day 60. And then the fine.
Sorry, how many hours?
8, Your Honor.
Go ahead, fine.
And then the fine is going to be split up into 3 installments.
Okay.
$99 after 30 days, and then another $99 at 60 days, and then the final $98 at 90 days.
Okay, so that would be a deferral running from today till November 27th. An alcohol course of 8 hours from a list of places that we will provide due by September 26th. And then a $99 payment on August 29th, a $99 payment on September 26th, and a $98 payment on October 28th. I know it went kind of fast, but is that what y'all seem to have agreed upon?
Yes, Judge.
And Mr. Pugh, is that what you thought we were doing?
Yes, correct.
Okay, if I email that to the email that we have on file, that would be the email that we set up the meeting for today. Would that email work for you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll probably email that within the next, hour. And so what I would like is for you to print it, sign it, and email it back. Can you do that?
Yes, I can.
Very good. Okay, then you're good to go unless you have further questions. We will include with the packet that we mail to you, the deferred, and it will have the dates listed for payment. And then we'll also have a list of places to choose from to do the alcohol awareness class. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Any further questions? Oh, yes.
Yeah, In that email, is it gonna be information on how to make the payments?
Yes, you can come by, you can send a check. I discourage money orders because they sometimes don't make it.
Okay.
You can pay online or you can call a clerk and pay. And if you go online, you're going to our municipal courts tab for the city of Temple. And there's a payment option available there. You can always call the clerk if you have further questions.
Already too easy.
Okay, yeah, we try to make it simple so that it's understandable and people aren't having to stress out. Okay,
All right, thank you.
thank you, Mr. Pugh. Any further questions? Those are good questions.
No, ma'am. I'm all good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, bye.
You're good to hang up. And then I'll probably say this name incorrectly, but Barat Salik, is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Great. Okay, I'm going to move you over to that meeting with the prosecutor.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Miss Anderson, he's thinking it over. You don't need to get on screen. I'm just letting you know. And I am just looking at work, so no big deal. Thank you. Looks good. And do we know a sheet that goes with it? The class sheet. And I usually put like a star in the top column, like above the column that they're using. Just so. I don't think it's a signature. I think it's just a list.
Oh my gosh. It's not in here.
The list isn't? Okay.
Oh. That's right, yeah, I had it. No, it's the list. Yeah. That's okay, I forgot.
Hello? Hi, I'm trying to reach Jason Ramos Montanez. Hi, Mr. Montanez or Ramos. This is Judge Person with the Temple Municipal Court. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Listen, we rescheduled you because of everything going on with you. And it's for this morning and you're not here on the Zoom link. So I wanted to check in and see, can you get on that meeting or do you not have access to your email? What's going on?
Oh, I never received that email.
Yeah, we emailed you back.
Well, I have time right now. I just didn't know that it was now. Or that y'all rescheduled for so soon.
Right. Can you get on your email and go to the link and link into the meeting?
Yep, I will look for it.
Okay. I'm gonna hang up now and look for you on the meeting, and if you can't find it, call the clerk's desk. Because
Okay, thank you.
maybe they sent it and it went into your junk mail, I don't know, but you always wanna follow up and check on things. Don't just assume that we're gonna track you down, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna hang up and let you try to get into the meeting. I'll let you in, okay?
Alrighty, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, he's got a lot going on. I wouldn't, it was a real quick reset, so. Okay, let's hear, and I'm here with Mr. Matson. In the main session, we're back to Mr. Salik, and he's just moving over. There we go. Okay, let's check in and see where we are.
We have reached an agreement on deferral.
Okay,
Terms are going to be 120 days with a 6-hour driver safety course due by day 60. And the fine is going to be split up into 3 payments of $88 at 30 days, 60 days, and 90 days.
and that's 88 on each day.
It is.
Okay, the payment dates turn into August 29th, September 26th, and October 28th, $88 each time. Mr. Salik, will that work for you?
Yeah, can I get the dates again? I just want to take
Oh
notes.
yeah, you're gonna have them all in writing. I'm gonna write them down on your order. So we're just doing kind of a head check. August 29th, September 26th, and October 28th. And we'll send that to you shortly. The 6-hour course in driving safety. We'll have a list of that you can use to look for we'll give you information for how to find a class. And then the deferral conditions, meaning no convictions during this time, no warrants, no failures to appear. That'll also be checked off on the list of things. That's due, that's valid, until November 27th. That's the end of the deferral. Okay.
And in the initial deferral, there's a high chance of me dismissing the case.
Yeah, as long as you do the things that are checked off on the list, and those things are going to be like no warrants, no fail to appear, and no more tickets. Pay on time and get your course turned in on time.
Okay,
That's
understood.
it. So it's totally in your control
Yeah,
whether it gets dismissed. But if you do those things, I will obligate myself to sign your dismissal at the end.
thank you very much, Your Honor.
Okay, I want to email this list with the conditions checked off and also information for how to find the class that we're asking that you do to the email where we sent the meeting request for today. Will that email still work?
Yeah,
Okay, and as always, if you have any difficulty or if things need further explanation, you can start by emailing or calling the clerk's office. And you're always able to tell them that you need to meet with me if you do, okay?
thank you very much, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you need any kind of excuse or anything like that for today, like for school or anything?
No, I graduated high school already.
Okay, then I will send that all to you here shortly, okay?
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
And you're printing it, you're signing it, you're sending it back to us. Okay,
Thank you
thank you. You're good to hang up whenever you're ready.
very much. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, and you too. Mr. Matson, I am going to move you forward, and your next person in the list is going to be, Dylan Lucas. Mr. Lucas, can you unmute? And good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you?
I'm good. I'm going to move you over to that meeting with the prosecutor, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay. Mr. Matson's moving over to that meeting, so they're going to have a conversation. Come on in, officer. You're early and that's perfectly fine. We're in an online meeting, so I just want you to be aware of that. And it's no problem. I'm glad you're here. Your timing is good.
I just got news from him. He's not claiming that there's any venomous snakes in there. The biggest thing is a reticulated python. But
You have someone to help you with that. Yikes.
yes. But he is unable to provide care for these animals. The bond companies won't even touch him right now.
Right.
So
Okay, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the information you're providing is true, correct, and accurate, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, let's see. Mr. Ramos Montanez, I'll be right with you. I think you should proceed as if they were venomous, just to be sure
Yes,
you're
sir.
not. We don't want, I mean, who's gonna help you out?
I've got some people on the way from College Station that deal with venomous snakes.
And also pythons
Yes.
and cobras or whatever. Holy heck. Okay, so we may need to have a hearing. We're gonna set it. And yeah, let me put that from you. Let me look at the court schedule. Generally, we have a pretty good feel of it right now in these hearings that we're having. I would like to just do this August 8th. No, we could do the 7th of August. We don't have. We could do it at 11 or 10:30. It's a Wednesday morning at 11. Yeah, because I think we'll have the prosecutor easily available. Let's see, 30th. July.
That's okay, because earlier we were using year 2025. Repeated like several times.
I guess they don't have names that we know of yet.
Sue me if I touched any of them.
Oh, well, I guess there's a warrant to protect you from that. Who has?
Turn this phone down twice.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said somebody fell down twice. And I thought, well, that sounds like something you should go handle if it's family, and we'll see you later. Okay. So Aaron's gonna help us out and show you how we do this. And yes, you're welcome. Be so very careful, please. Because my only thought this morning was if they haven't been fed for a few days, they might be out and about in that park.
Give me 4, so I've got to deliver one to them in jail and post one at the house.
Yeah, my thought this morning was be very careful because if they've been hungry,
Yes.
they're they might have pushed out of enclosures and,
That's my concern as well.
yeah. Okay, just hang on there. We're gonna get you taken care of, and I need to meet with Jason Ramos Montanez. Hi, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. Thank you for taking the call and for getting onto the meeting. I'm appreciative. I know that you have a lot going on. This
Of course, I
offense,
apologize.
yes, thank you for that, but I think we're good. I don't get upset. I recognize kind of what you said. This is pretty quick and with everything that you've been having, I just wanted to call you. I normally don't take that step, but people are expected to remember their court dates, but really from what you described, I just felt like I should call you. And lo and behold, it was probably a good idea. Let me ask you a question, or let me look at this real quickly. Because I know where I'm inclined to go with this, but I want to see. I don't think I have your registration completed. Where are you in that process?
I had went to the court when I still lived in Temple, and they had me fill all the paperwork that I needed.
No, 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 no. You were charged with your registration being out. Your vehicle. You've been charged with an expired motor vehicle registration, which is that sticker on the window. You entered a plea of no contest.
Yes, so
And wait a minute, you entered a plea of no contest and asked to be given 30 days or to pay to pay. I had determined that you were going to be qualified to pay it through community service. Per your request, that still made sense for me to go in the community service direction. But this is the type of offense that if you're on time to court, I can dismiss if you bring the registration up to date. Now you've missed some court dates, but I am willing to make a finding that you missed those dates due to circumstances that you have been facing. If you're still able to get the registration up to date, I can go ahead and get that. If you'll turn it in, I've got to get it turned in, and then we dismiss with a $20 fee, or I actually, in your case, could waive that fee. So have you been able to get the vehicle registered?
So the thing that I told that officer that day is that vehicle was sold. Before I moved, we sold that vehicle. So I no longer own that car. The only car that I own is the vehicle that's from the dealership. So it is registered and inspected and all that.
Right. The law is specific for that dismissal option as to the vehicle you were driving at the time of the stop. So what I can do instead is accept your plea and order completion of payment through community service. And community service in this case, let me just tell you what it is before you think about it. It would be 8 hours of community service. And I can give you 30 days to complete it in a list of local places that I know will accept folks just to call and go right in. If you want to do that, I can do that. If you want to set up low payments, I could do that. Think about it for just a moment. I'm going to give you the option to choose, and I'm going to let you think about it for a minute while I go ahead and talk to Mr. Matson and Mr. Lucas about Mr. Lucas's case, and then I'll be right back with you. Where are we on the Lucas? Thank you. Where are we on the cases involving Mr. Lucas?
Your Honor, I'd like to reset these. He actually has a couple other cases that I think are set for initial appearance. If we could just put all of these on October 27th or August 27th, sorry.
Yes, I can do that. I'm gonna, for purposes of doing that reset, I'm entering not guilty pleas on all of those cases right now. That's a hold place so that we can move them to the August 27th Zoom court date. Is that right for both of you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, we'll just kind of keep them all together for right now. They're all getting reset to August 27th on Zoom. And can we use the email, Mr. Lucas, that we used for today's setting?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, then you'll receive that in your mail here shortly, sometime this morning, I think.
All right, sounds great, Your Honor.
Do you have any further questions before you go?
No, I do not, Your Honor.
Okay, with the thanks of the court, you're free to go.
Thank you so much. You have a good day, Your Honor.
And you too, thank you.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye-bye. Mr. Matson, I am moving you forward with the next person, which is Faith Nicole Beckley Jones. Thank you, ma'am. I'm going to move you over to that meeting with the prosecutor. Is your audio working?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay. Okay, Mr. Ramos Montanez, what do you think? Let me have you unmute again.
Judge?
Yes, Mr. Thompson.
Okay, I was just wanting to just do a quick check-in because I hadn't had checked in. And anyways, that's all. I was just checking in, man.
Okay, yeah, I know you're here. You're actually coming right
Okay.
up. We have
Okay,
several
great.
people that were ahead of you, and now I think you're going to be next.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ramos Montanez, where are we? What do you think?
So I am under like special circumstance here. I was subcontracted out to work for where I'm living. So my time is probably more well used doing something to pay for the payments. So I would rather.
Okay, so can you pay $25 a month?
Yeah, I can do that.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, can we start today?
Yes, I would have to just use a specific card.
Okay. So you can come, we need you to come by and sign the payment arrangement. And then you can make that payment too at the same time. And then you won't have to come back again or make payment again for another month.
Okay. I live 5 hours away. I will definitely make sure to do that.
No, no, no,
as
no,
soon
no,
as
no, no,
possible.
no, 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 no. Can I email you everything and have, sorry, I have a Temple address on here, so you'll need to change your email with the court because we have you here.
Yeah.
So I don't know you
Yeah.
moved if you don't tell me, and I'm just mailing things to that mail. So keep your address current. You've got to keep up with your case. Hold on, that includes just keeping everything up to date so
Yes.
we can reach you. Because if I make a mistake and I'm heading to warrant and you have an opportunity to tell me, hey, Judge, you've made a mistake, and I send that to an address where you don't get it, then you're in a difficulty because you just didn't provide the address. So if you will, we're going to email to the email that we have on file. I'm assuming that email works because you got the link. Does that email still work?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I got the link and it works.
I can use email as long as it's working. If we're not getting responses from an email, though, we stop using it and then we just use the address. So when you email back, can you print it, sign it, and email it back to us, the payment arrangement?
Yes.
Okay. When you email back, let them know, please change my address and anything else that has changed. Okay. And and what I'll also do is then you can call the clerk to do payment. Yeah, you don't have to drive over here. I just thought it was local and we've had some difficulty communicating. So we'll email.
Yeah,
just,
that's why I emailed for the Zoom call. I wasn't anywhere near there.
Yeah, that's fine.
When I emailed, I told them I had moved.
Right. I don't know if you provided your address and said, please change my address, but if you'll do that today, that would be great.
No, I have an appointment with the DMV. Yeah, I will.
We won't know from the DMV. You have to tell us in the email. If you want to wrangle about this some more, I can, but I just would like
Okay,
you to do that today.
no, that sounds good.
Take care. Mr. Matson, let's get a check-in with you and Miss Beckley Jones.
Your Honor, Ms. Beckley Jones did show me, I think there was just a little bit of a miscommunication with the DMV about which registration sticker needed to go on her vehicle.
Got it.
She has rectified that problem, and I told her it would be beneficial to just scan the receipt that the sticker comes on and email it to the court.
Okay.
But I am going to be moving to dismiss that charge.
Okay. What I'm going to actually do is ask Miss Beckley Jones if you'll can you scan that over this morning?
Yes, ma'am. I will do it right as soon as I get off this meeting.
Perfect. When you send that in, he's also then going to send me a dismissal, and I'll sign it later today probably, and we'll email it to you. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Could I scan it, send it to the email that sent me the link for this?
That's
Okay.
perfect. Yeah. We just use one. Then it's
Got it.
looking everywhere. Right. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great one, y'all.
You take care. Thank you for that. Mr. Matson, you're moving forward with Anthony Thompson, and his audio, I think, is working fine. I'm just going to ask Mr. Thompson, can we get you on video too?
Sure. Yeah, I'm here. Hello, Your Honor. Hello, Mr. Madison.
Okay, Matson. Okay, we're going to move you over to the a breakout room for y'all to have a conversation.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Okay. And we're still just waiting, cooling our heels. So don't worry, Ms. Anderson, I have not forgotten about you, okay? He's looking at it. He's just been moving pretty furiously.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Thank you very much. It's been like just steady. I think Mr. Matson has learned the very important prosecutorial lesson that if you prepare, you go faster and then you get done more quickly. So then you have more time front loading the work. So they usually take a while to learn that one. And then once they do, we never go back. If we slide back, it's because they're overwhelmed. You kind of tend to know, like, they must be overwhelmed over there because they're not ready. They're flying by. I mean, they can do it that way. That's not wrong, but it's just harder. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Matson. Let me get Mr. Thompson back over. Okay, let's check in on the case regarding Mr. Thompson.
Your Honor, I did review this case prior to this Zoom happening, and I was like to move to dismiss.
Okay, so Mr. Thompson, the prosecutor has exercised his discretion and made a motion to dismiss. And therefore I will sign that dismissal. Can I email a copy to the email that we used to set up today's meeting?
Right to that. Yes, ma'am.
Great. Okay, we'll send it to you then shortly. Okay, sir?
Okay. Thank you all for y'all's time.
Thank you. Thanks
All
for
right,
your
bye-bye.
patience. Bye-bye.
Right. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. Matson, I'm gonna go ahead and let you visit with Ms. Anderson. Ms. Anderson, if I can get you on screen, it just helps. So.
Yes. Your Honor, that was the one you added to the end of the docket.
Yes, sir, I sure did.
I was able to pull that up already. She obtained insurance within 24 hours of the stop, and I think that that's appropriate for dismissal.
Okay, I'm gonna take that one and the last one on your verbal motion. The one where we're waiting on that little piece of paper is the only one I'll be waiting on for you to send in, okay?
Sure.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and sign those two, Anderson and Thompson, here shortly. Ms. Anderson, I'm gonna sign that here in a moment, and then I will email that to you, to the email that we used to set up this meeting for today. Will that work for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Okay. Thank you very much.
Do I leave? I'm
Yes,
sorry.
you can just
Okay.
hang up. Okay. Thank you.